The interesting thing about this film, from a technical standpoint, is the amount of gear and the amount of cameras that we had to take down the Colorado River with us.
On Grand Canyon Adventure, we faced brand new challenges. After over 30 years of producing IMAX films, we decided to get into 3D.
When shooting an IMAX film, obviously the gear is a lot bigger. The cameras are bigger, everything's just heavier and bulkier. A normal 2D camera that we have, you can get 1 or 2 guys to move it. With a 3D camera, fully loaded, is 300 pounds.
And ordinarily, we travel in trucks that are all outfitted very nicely with shelves, and the equipment's very well organized. On this particular trip, we just had a couple of rafts that we could keep our equipment in, and we had probably 50 cases of equipment.
About 2 weeks before the shoot, we got dimensions of the boats and all the different little holes it has, and I had to try to figure out how we're going to get everything loaded onto these boats to go downriver for 15 days, and also have to have it all waterproof in case we do capsize these boats.
The other concern that we had was how we were going to get the camera into those places that we always like to put the camera, which is basically where the camera doesn't want to be.
One of the most challenging shots we did was hiking this 300-pound camera up to the Nankoweap Granary, which is about 1,000 feet in elevation, on steps that the Anasazi used that are extremely narrow and slippery.
In fact, all the boatmen, they said, "You're never, ever going to get that gigantic camera up to Nankoweap Granary." And of course, that was a challenge that was thrown down to our crew, and they said, "No, we're going to do it." And sure enough, about maybe 10 people carrying that heavyweight camera got it all the way up there.
Including our key actors and stars of the movie, who jumped in enthusiastically to help us lug this camera.
The trip up there with that camera on our back was arduous, but I think it gave me a greater appreciation about what it was like for the Indians who lived there at one time, because they had to trek everything up there, you know, and they had to do it for their survival.
We got up there in the afternoon, and our intent was to do a time-lapse shot of the sunset. And as we more and more talked about it, I said, well, let's just let it run all night.
That particular night, there was very, very heavy winds, and I knew that our camera was up there. It was all wrapped up and safe, but of course I have dreams about the camera getting damaged, and I couldn't sleep very well that night.